Today's video is about soft field takeoffs and landings. We figured that this might be something helpful to see before you perform it, or maybe something that you're struggling with and you'd like to see someone else do it. That being said, let's get into the footage.
All right, so today we're doing performance takeoff and landings. We'll start with a soft field takeoff. Basically, this is just simulating an environment where we're taking off on anything other than a hard surface. So the biggest point here is to basically lift off the ground as soon as possible to try to basically protect that nose gear and get off of the soft surface that could have any kind of any ruts in it, or if it's just rained in the last couple of days, it might be a little bit soft. So you're trying to utilize that lift that you're starting to generate as you build speed to try to get the pressure off of the ground and get away from those ruts and soft surfaces, and just lift off as soon as you can. Cool. Sounds good. So we'll do this takeoff with starting with 2 flaps, and then we'll start with full aft pressure as to build that lift and get off the ground as soon as we can. As soon as we lift off, we'll alleviate that pressure and stay in the ground effect. Basically, we'll just be flying level with the ground until we capture 64, and then we'll pitch up and away from the ground at 64, and then once we reach 50 feet, we'll take 1 notch of the flaps out. So then we'll be at 10, and we'll keep pitching for 64 until we get to 200 feet AGL, at which point we'll take our last flap out, and then we'll transition our climb to 76.
That's good.
Questions?
No, sir.
Sweet.
Your controls?
You got that. My controls. Yes,
You got it. Your controls.
All right. We got tower.
Addison Tower at the 688, holding short 16, ready for VFR east.
So 688, Addison Tower, runway 16, clear for takeoff.
16, clear for takeoff, go 688.
All right. My controls.
You got everything?
Coming up. Crossing on 216. AC's coming off. Mixture is rich. Full aft pressure onto our soft field. Double checking, making sure this file's clear. Clear left. Clear left, clear right. I've got my full aft pressure in already. So what we need to know too is, as soon as this thing wants to start developing some lift and we've got the nose gear off, you're going to start feeling those left turning tendencies. So we'll want to incrementally add more and more right rudder. As soon as the nose starts coming up, we'll just start alleviating a little bit of back pressure. Alleviating a little bit of back pressure, adding more and more right rudder, as I'm doing now. And we'll just slowly creep into ground effect, nice and level like this. Looking for 64, there it is. Now we're pitching up and away to capture it. Now we're at 700 feet. We'll let that 1 flap out. Keep pitching for 64. I've still got that right rudder in because of all those left turning tendencies. And now we're just looking for 200 feet AGL. So about 850.
God, carpet call on clearance, change to 1.6.
Take my last one out. And now transitioning my climb to 76. All right, there's our turnout.
Okay, stand by 1.
You got our controls back. Your controls?
My controls.
Your controls. All right, so we're going to do a soft field landing. Show you this first one, and then I'll let you practice the takeoffs and landings before we move on to a short field.
Mesquite traffic plus 532, departing 18 for left traffic, Mesquite.
So obviously the same point as the takeoff is the landing. There's our 45. So all the operations of this is going to look the same as far as your approach speed. So you're still pitching for 85 and the rest back into the downwind after you've got your 1 flap. And then on final, you are pitching for 80 knots. And then on final, you're pitching for 70. And then basically you're just trying to get down into ground effect and then just pull your power like you normally do. And then you're slowly walking out or adding flare as to keep that nose wheel off, to keep it protected and keep it off of the ground until you've finished completely through the landing and on the ground. And until all of your airspeed is bled off, where then your nose just softly comes down.
Mesquite traffic, goes 688 on final 418, touch and go, Mesquite.
So we're a little high, so I'm full some power. Still pitching for 70. My last flap in. Feeling a good sync. I'm about to add a touch of power back to that normal about 1500 area because I'm about to see it red. There we There we go, back to the 1500, and there's 2 reds. Zoom your range knob in here for a little bit better situational awareness. Use your tools.
Turning left downwind for 18 Mesquite.
Still pitching for 70, a little bit low there. Power's working idle smoothly. And I'm just going to be patient. Transition eyes down the runway. And bring in the nose up to the horizon.
Stall.
And then just incrementally adding. I'm still adding back pressure smoothly. And now I've got full aft and it just creeps down. Okay? Good with that? Yep. Then you can alleviate that back pressure. Flaps up smoothly. Capture that center line. Smoothly full pilot. And let's get out. So we're going to do a soft field. Try to practice that feel. This will really start giving you good reps on filling out that flare because you're going to have to dial it in to be able to keep that nose wheel off. So this will be good practice for us there. And so tower's still closed, so you'll still be giving each leg of the traffic pattern calls.
Mesquite traffic, course 688, left crosswind through runway 18. Mesquite traffic.
Mesquite traffic, course 532, turning final for 18 Mesquite.
Good job looking outside. You've got that 45 off of your shoulder. That's a good place to start turning your
Mesquite traffic, course 688, turning left downwind through runway 18, touch and goes, Mesquite.
Good call.
Mesquite traffic 532 is final for runway 18, touch and go, rating and pattern, Mesquite.
Getting a lot better on our traffic pattern, speeds and altitude.
Thank you.
It's getting there, buddy. It's getting there. Good stuff.
Long day's work.
You're a lot less chasing and you're a lot more putting it there.
I see them.
Proactive versus reactive. Good stuff.
Alright, 1,000 footers. Drop 15. First flap.
We're actually going to do a full stop taxi back on this one.
Okay. Okay.
Morning, tower.
Is the tower on?
Not yet. They might be monitoring, but they're not obviously talking yet.
Mesquite traffic, course 688, making left base for runway 18. We're going to do a full stop taxi back. Mesquite.
Good.
Mesquite traffic, Sky 1177 Foxtrot 15 Z, inbound for landing runway 13, Mesquite.
Did you say 1-3?
Time 12000, Mesquite Tower is resuming airport traffic control services, class Delta airspace in effect. ATIS information, Indy is current runway 18 in use. Winds 15087, altimeter is 2987.
2987.
Tower, good morning, Coast 532, we are currently left crosswind 18.
532, Mesquite Tower, good morning, left traffic.
Left traffic, Coast 532.
Mesquite Tower 688. That's 688. Good morning. We're turning final for 18. We were going to do a full stop taxi back.
688, Mesquite Tower, good morning, runway 18, clear to land.
18 clear to land. That's 688. I hate this call sign.
Yeah.
I heard a 1177 Foxtrot out there. Morning, Skyhawk 1177
So you used to
Foxtrot
5 and then 88 back to back.
runway 18 with information in here. So 77 Foxtrot, good morning. Report 5 miles east for the left downwind light.
Report 5
All right.
miles to the east and west, downwind runway 18.
So 70 on the approach, so a little bit fast.
So I'll drop some power and pitch up a little.
Yeah, good. And now you're 4 whites, so that lower power you'll start sinking.
Yep.
You're about to
Projection
recapture 2
70.
reds, there they are. So bump that a little bit of power back in.
Yep, bumping it back.
Because now you're getting really low. So just anticipate a little further ahead whenever you are adding it back in.
Sorry, tower, we got to
Starting to work at idle. And then ramping out.
runway 18, clear
And then start incrementally whenever it wants to start sinking, just adding little bits of flare. Be patient, a little more flare.
Stall.
Yeah,
Stall.
hold it off.
688, try to exit right, your discretion, runway 18, taxi, Alpha Bravo.
We'll get off at Delta and taxi 218 Alpha 688. Yeah, how's that feel? Let's go.
That was butter.
I don't know why he's talking to us while we're mid-landing.
Cool. Flaps down. Let's go back down.
Good stuff. I gave you a little bit of pressure, but it was mostly you.
Oh, come on.
Just a tiny bit. But you can feel the patience in there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt good.
Well, it looked real good. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So yeah, we'll get down here. We've already done a run-up when we left over there, so we don't need to do it again. But we will, you can kind of walk through a soft field takeoff, that the steps are again real quick, and then
2 flaps up.
Yep. And then the biggest thing about the soft field takeoff is that feel of the nose coming up, and then you knowing the timing and the feel on when to alleviate pressure. So you're gonna have it full aft when you roll on the runway, but as you build airspeed, it's obviously going to start coming up, right?
Yep.
As it's starting to come up, you're only alleviating pressure as to let it come up a little bit, but not so much as to tail strike. So you're not alleviating pressure to put it back on the ground, right? You want it to come off the ground, okay? So I feel like some people I watch do this, and it looks as if they're thinking it needs to stay down. You don't need it to stay down. So like this isn't getting us sitting here like this with the nose down isn't getting us off the ground as early as possible, right? So the nose needs to come up. So that's where this is coming into play. And then as you build airspeed and it starts to come up, you're going to let it stay up a little bit, and then you're just going to alleviate pressure so that it doesn't come up, any more than it absolutely needs to.
Gotcha.
Just to have you creep off the ground. Okay? Your brakes?
My brakes.
Your brakes. All right.
I can set up for this now.
Yes, sir.
1, 2 flaps up. Gonna have extend full back pressure. Just wait for the call for tower now.
Well, they're not going to say anything to you. You'll have to tell them that you're
Holding short.
Yeah, you're holding short 1-8 and ready for takeoff pattern work.
Whiskey Tower, hold for 688, holding short of 18, ready for takeoff for pattern work back.
That's 532, right traffic.
Is that
Right traffic.
I don't always respond to that.
688, runway 18, clear for takeoff, follow company Archer at the departure.
Clear for takeoff, runway 18, thrust for 688.
We'll follow the traffic for 688.
Oh, I thought you said look out for traffic.
Whiskey Tower, Skype 117 Foxtrot, 5 to the east, and we'll down by 18.
Yep.
That's 77 Foxtrot, Roger, still looking for
All overhead up, AC's off.
Left downwind, that's the box.
Mixture is rich. Good. Final clear.
Right's clear.
Archer in clear.
Alright, full aft pressure. Alright.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom.
There's your nose up a little bit. Let it stay up. A little bit more. Right rudder.
Stall.
Right
Stall.
rudder. More right rudder. There you go. Now let it creep into ground effect. Keep it down there.
Yep.
Now glance at your airspeed. Now pitch up a gap to 64.
64.
Good.
Yep.
Looking for 50 feet. There it is.
Flap 1.
Keeping that 64.
64.
There you go. The biggest two couple of common errors that you usually see, and you definitely had a little bit of both of them. So as soon as it started to want to come up, you alleviated so much pressure that the nose just kind of come flat back down.
Yep.
So we want to alleviate the pressure as to not tail strike, but it's not just going to rock it up and then smack the back. It's going to, there's a fine line in between, so you just got to kind of feel it out. Take some practice and some reps doing so. And the second thing is the amount of right rudder that you got to have. So as soon as the nose starts coming off the ground, you're going to have those left turning tendencies really start coming into play. And you can see how you were starting to move left, right? So then you've got to add more and more. So you're adding a little bit, but you got to add more and more and more so that you can get that nose pointed straight. All right, so we'll do one more full stop taxi back. And then we'll run with touch and goes after that. We may actually run to Terrell after this one. So we've got 3 of us here now. Go over there and then switch it up to short fields. Where are we going here, Charlie Brown?
Make my own runway.
You think you looking landed on that grass strip right there? Make sure you're checking that wide arc. You're right on the line there. Pull that power. You're high, right?
Yes, sir. I'll pull it. Do another flap.
So this time, you're high again, right? Like you're a lot more high this time than the last time. But try to anticipate. So start building a sight picture. Don't just only stare at the pappies, because you're not always going to have pappies, right? Yeah. So you can use it as a tool, right? But look at the surrounding area, what the angle looks like that you're at to reach that glide slope that you want to be on. So as you see them start to go red, then kind of correlate what that looks like. So yeah, I was about to just say, start adding a touch of power because you're about to see 2 reds, and there they are. Good. But normal descent rate, right? Yep. So the 1800 isn't going to give you a normal descent, so it's usually at 15 to 1600. So walk that out just a tiny bit. And if you need to adjust, you can.
532, runway 18,
plane needs.
That's 532, cleared for 18, touch and go.
Good job on the airspeed.
That's 532, just 600 down, I'll cover this. Looks like I got a Cessna ready for departure.
Working it down.
Roger, you'll call the base.
Idle.
That's 532.
Transitioning the nose up. Be patient. Yep. Start adding some more.
Not as good as the last one.
That's 688, exit right at Delta, runway 18, taxi Alpha Bravo.
Exiting at Delta, taxi via Alpha 218.
Yeah, so just a little bit more patient on the flare. But obviously the first one, I was giving you a little bit of pressure, kind of help you feel it out. But just a little bit more patience there. Added a touch too much. And so then it kind of just barely pulled it off the ground. You literally maybe came off the ground like 6 inches to a foot, and then it just softly touched back down. But you can also feel that. If you can feel that it's coming back off the ground, you know you're going to come back down again. So you're going to have to incrementally add more flare again to keep the nose off. And then just, keep in mind, always remember that anytime that if you have a balloon, dramatically always go around. You don't have to wait for me to make a go around call. If you're ever unsafe or don't feel good about a landing, you can always choose to go around.
688, runway 18, clear for takeoff. Follow up the Archer at the departure end.
Clear for takeoff, runway 18, following the Archer, thrust 688.
There you go.
Thrust 532, left traffic.
Thrust 532, left traffic.
Left.
Everything up.
Good job.
Conditioning off.
Good job.
Clear left. Clear right. Line up on center line. Okay, so hold gas pressure. Full throttle.
Gauges are green. Airspeed's alive. Right rudder.
Right rudder more.
Keep it off. There you go.
Stall.
Push it down into ground effect. More push. There you go. Now looking for 64. Now pitch up. There you go. Kind of wanting to drift up on you. There you go. Somewhere around that 15-ish on the pitch up. There you go, get back to that 64. We don't want to chase it all over. It's going to be more than 10, but it's going to be less than 20, so we don't want to oscillate and be chasing it around. Somewhere around that 15. Slightly more than 200, okay.
And then now we're going to pitch for 76.
Yeah, good job. And what are we pitching for on final?
70.
Sweet. This time, just make sure as you're entering into ground effect, just start smoothly bringing power out.
You got it.
Holding power in just a hair too long. So just a little bit earlier. And then as you get low down into ground effect, we want to transition our eyes down the runway so we can kind of see as we're sinking and trying to get that cowling up closer towards the horizon as you're flaring and touching down.
We're stable.
Good. Get your last flap. There you go.
Was that such a good glide slope? I felt like I didn't really need it.
Yeah.
Round of 5, final.
532 right traffic.
One more.
Right traffic,
Stall,
532.
stall.
Yeah. Good touchdown. Just needed to add a little bit more after we
a little
touched down, so it didn't come down so soon.
We're good.
You had a little bit more pressure left in there. You could have added.
Touch and go, you said? Yep.
Zoom, zoom.
Speed alive. 60, rotate.
All right, let's head over to Taro. Along the way, we may do something else. See how long we got? 20, 30. Actually, no. For time's sake, we'll probably just head straight to Taro.
Taro?
Yeah, you're good. You can head out that way. All right, turn to that downwind. All right, so short field.
Air controls.
Air controls.
About 9 nautical miles to the northwest. Going to be setting up for the left downwind for runway 18.
So this one is mostly the same, except on short final, you're going to start pitching for 61 and start building a different sight picture so that you can pull your power. Basically, you're aiming for 200 feet before your touchdown point is your aiming point. Everything else is all the same. So in the base, you're pitching for 80, and then your turn in final, you'll initially be pitching for 70, and then as you're getting worked towards short final, you'll start transitioning to pitch for 61.
Tail traffic goes 688 on the left base 418, touch and go. So
we're pitching for 80, a touch high, so I'm going to pull a little bit more power out. So this is just, it is what it sounds like. It's a short field, so you're trying to get landed on a short field and trying to get stopped as soon as possible because you're landing on a short field and you need to get off of it, right?
tail traffic goes 688 on final 418. We're actually going to make it a full stop taxi back. So.
Okay, so I'm going for the 1,000 footers, and I'm looking 2 center line straps before the 1,000 footers is roughly 200 feet. Okay. So now I'm starting to pitch for 61. If I got a higher airspeed and I'm pitching for 61, I need to pitch up a little bit, right? So if I can tell that that's starting to make me high, I can pull the power out, right? So I'm pitching for 61. I'm pitching to keep 61. And And then let that sight picture settle in as to you can see whether you're trending towards your aiming point or not. Right now it looks pretty good. And then as that aiming point either goes up on my windscreen, I'm going to bump up with the power. Same thing if it goes down on my windscreen, I'm going to pull down with the power. So same direction it goes on the windscreen is what I'm going to do with the power. So it's going up the windscreen a little bit. So I'm just putting a little bit of power in, about 100 RPMs or so. Being patient, trying to keep around that 61. And 200 feet before, I'm going power idle. Go down on my point, stable landing, flaps up, and then I'm adding full brake pressure, aerodynamic braking, as to get stopped as soon as possible. Okay? Good there. Now we're going to taxi off and we'll show you a short field takeoff.
Trail traffic says 580, 5 nautical miles to the northwest, going to be over 5 field, setting up for left.
As you can tell with that, if you can make them soft, cool, more power to you, but the priority there is that you're touching down on the point, okay? So 0 before and 200 beyond the point is where you're trying to put it down at.
Okay.
Tail traffic does 688, clear of 18, taxiing back to 18. So.
Any questions there?
Nope.
Not too bad, huh?
No.
All right, I'll show you a short field takeoff, and then we'll let you have them back, and you can get to practice both.
Sounds good.
All right, so short field takeoff. So it is, again, what it sounds like. So you're taking off on a short field, right? Or maybe a combination of both. You have an obstacle that you're trying to get up over in the simulated situation as a 50-foot obstacle, right?
Trail traffic says 580, going to be over 5 field at 2000.
Same thing as a soft field.
Downwind runway 18, tail.
You're going to start with 2 notches of flaps, so 25 degrees, and then the difference is we're going to line up and we're going to use all available runway. Okay, so we'll go straight out and try to use as much as we can of it because we've got a short field, right? And then we'll line up and we'll go full brake pressure and go full power. We'll check that our gauges are in the green and everything's good. Nothing's barking at us, nothing we don't like. And then we'll release the brakes and then take off. And we'll, again, just confirm that our gauges are green. We'll go airspeed alive and we'll have slightly tail low. So a little bit of forward pressure as to keep the plane on the ground, and then as you're passing 55, you'll rotate, and then you'll capture 60 on the climb out. After you get 50 feet, you'll lower the nose just a hair, take 1 flap out, and then pitch for 64 until 200 feet, and then you'll lower the nose just a hair, take that last flap out, and pitch for 76. Okay? Good there? All right, looks like they're good. They're doing it.
Traffic is 580, joining the left downwind, 18, touch and go, tail.
All overheads up, mixture rich, AC coming off. Full brake pressure, we got our 2 flaps. Slightly tail low, full power. Gauges are green, everything's good. We're releasing. Keeping that center line. Protecting our power.
Traffic is 580, left base, 18, touch and go, tail.
And rotating. Station for 60. Over 50 feet. Station for 64. Over 200 feet. Take the last one out. Transition to 76. Any questions?
Nope. Looks good.
Tail traffic is 580, final, runway 18, tail.
All right, so now your turn. We'll do short field landings. If we've got spacing from then, we'll just do it on the runway. This one's long enough. It will be good. If we actually are able to stop in a good time. If not, then we'll get off the runway.
I'm going to make my call.
Yeah.
Tail traffic north 688, left crosswind for runway 18, tail.
Yeah, watch that airspeed whenever you're turning.
Tail traffic Bus 688 for final for 18, doing full stop taxi back, tow.
Turned final a little early. It should meet over there a little bit. Now we're to the point we should be starting to pitch for 61.
61
so you can
now?
get a sight picture in and be telling if you're trending towards that aiming point that you want or not.
Okay. Whoa, so I need more power.
Okay, so still got to keep pitching for 61. It's not just gonna, you're not gonna touch it and it stay there. You keep actively pitching for it constantly. Smaller adjustments on the pitch. Yeah, it's going up on your windscreen, just a touch of power. About to 1500. A little more.
Power out. So 580 left base, runway 18.
Just hold it off.
Stall, stall.
Nope, not too much. There you go.
Flaps down.
Flaps up, and then full braking. Aerodynamic braking. Good. All right, keep going. Down to Delta, or whatever this is over here.
Tow traffic, bus 688, taking 18 to stay in the pattern, tow. Okay, 2 flaps up, we got all overheads up. AC off. Gonna take all the runway.
Sorry, so 580 left crosswind, runway 18. So
2 flaps up.
tail traffic, Country 560, about 5 miles to the northeast. Look to enter 45 to left downwind, runway 18. We're going to follow the traffic on that crosswind, Terrell.
Good. Finally
Airspeed
green
alive.
airspeed, good job.
So traffic, so 580 left downwind, runway 18.
Got that 15 up, a little higher than 15. Yeah, see how it's hanging around 70 on you?
Yeah.
There you go.
610, flat 1, 50 feet.
Looking for 64. There's your 200 feet.
And 200 feet.
Just a little late on the 50 feet flap.
Make a climb for 76.
Just need to rotate a little earlier. You didn't
Once they
rotate so
capture
close to the-
55.
Yeah, well, you're not going to capture 55. You're
Yeah.
going to be passing 55. But honestly, I kind of like to start letting go of that forward pressure and start adding some back pressure when it's passing 50. Because you're not going to stop at 50. You're not going to stop at 55. You're not going to capture it. You're just going to start initiating, right? So I start alleviating some of that forward pressure at 50 and then be rotating at 55. Because you're not going to capture 55, it's going to be passing when you rotate, right? So you're anticipating that, doing it, rotating it at 55 so that you can capture 60. Okay, so this one we're just going to do touch and go.
Okay.
So anytime we're not actually doing a full stop landing,
traffic
we're just
approach
going to
560,
simulate
about 3
max
miles,
braking.
to
I want you to
runway
make sure you
18.
have the habit of at least thinking about doing it. So after you land, call like stable landing, and then you can say simulated max braking.
So traffic,
if we're doing touch and go.
runway 18. So.
Tow traffic, bus 688 for final for 18, touch and go, tow.
So traffic is 580 on the upwind, 18 going to be left coast traffic, Terrell.
Everybody here.
It's a party. Okay, everything up. Yes, okay.
Good habit. Good habit. All right, we're transitioning to that 61.
61 now, okay.
Are you high, low, fast, or slow?
Low.
Yeah, fast and low. Now your speed's coming in and check. Yeah, a little more. If you're not stopping the sync, then you got to add some more.
532, you want us to extend our upwind for you? Say that one more time.
A little more.
Would you like us to extend our upwind for you?
18, 19.
You won't have to extend very much. We'll keep it a little tight. I appreciate
Maybe
it.
even 2,000.
All right, Roger.
Don't let the
Make it a
sink
full
just
stop
keep
on the
happening to you. You
Gotcha.
gotta add more and more if you see it keep happening.
Okay,
Now take it back out.
560 left base, runway 18 Terrell.
Back down to that 1500-ish. Keep the
Tail
61.
traffic west 532 starting right teardrop for left to 18 Terrell.
Yeah, keep active on the rudder so you're pointed straight down the runway. Keep coming down. Power's coming idle. And then just hold it off to your point.
Appreciate you, 580. And no worries.
Simulated max braking.
Yep.
Or whoop, flaps first.
Yep.
There you go.
And Terrell traffic, this is 580, turning left crosswind 18 coming in behind, 532 Terrell. Terrell traffic, Archer Coast 560, final runway 18, touch and go Terrell.
Right rudder.
60, right rudder.
You want to get 61 and be trending towards it. So if it's moving up the windscreen, up with the power. If it's moving down, we'll go down with the power. So it's down the windscreen, right?
Yep, so down with the power.
Yeah. Well, a lot of power because you're pretty high. Keep pitching for 61. Idle if you're not.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now bump just a tiny bit. Like 100 RPMs in there. Now add the 200, get it to about 1300. A little more. Well, a little early.
Yeah.
You gotta have some more flare in there to kind of hold it off. Flaps up.
Terrell traffic, that's 580, left crosswind runway 18 Terrell.
That's another thing, just always remember short field so you have power, right? So use it if you need it. So if you can tell you're going to be short, you can bump a little bit of that back in there. You can bump like 200 RPMs in there, and it'll only take a second or two, and it'll give you a good 100, 200 feet. Yeah. All right, we need to head back.
Okay.
So I hope that helps. If you're interested in training with us or just would like more resources like this, go ahead and check out thrustlight.com. Otherwise, like, comment, and subscribe if you liked this video, and we'll see you guys on the next video.